Oh, hey, my bitch.
Hey, how's it going?
I am so excited to have you on this podcast because when Taya and I were talking about what should the first guest be, she was like breath coach. And I was like, that's
Gosh.
amazing because I feel like as a mom, breathing is like not, I mean, we naturally breathe, obviously, but like
Yeah.
to actually have like attention and focus on your breath does not come natural to a lot of people, at least not for me.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah, I think it's going to be a great informational podcast for people. And I know I've had a lot of friends that are really excited for this podcast because, like, we all need to breathe. So, with that said, I'm so excited to get started. My first question, right, is we connected online and then we had our intro meeting. And my favorite thing, I was like, okay, this is going to be amazing because you were literally in a hair salon with like foil on your head. And
Oh,
I
it
was
was
like,
full
okay,
Tin
this
Man
is
style.
serendipitous. It was
It,
amazing. I was like, this is what a mom betch is. Like, this is the definition of mom betch, where you just get your shit done and it doesn't matter where you're at, what you look like, you do what you need to do to feel good inside.
and honestly, it was one of those situations where scheduling error on my part. I realized that we had booked that date, and then I looked at my calendar, and we moved from Lower Manhattan to a smaller town in Colorado about a year ago to test out a new lifestyle. And let me tell you, there's been some trial and error when it comes to hair color here.
Yeah.
It's different. It's not the same as Lower Manhattan. So I found this one woman who is she's she's a wizard when it comes to hair. Like she's fixed everything. She is amazing. Her name is Minwa at an Aveda salon, and you can't get in. You can't get in to see her. So when I had this appointment, I was like, I can't cancel, but I don't want to cancel here. So what do we do? So I showed up. I showed up with my laptop, my like headphones, all this stuff, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, let me know when it starts. I can stop doing your hair. What else do you need? You need internet. You need this." It's just another example of like another mom being like, what do you need? How
Yes.
can I help you? How can we make this good while I bleach your hair?
You have to multitask. And I was so proud to see another mom just like multitasking and doing what you got to do to feel good. And we talked about that. Like, you do not feel good unless you look good. Like, you have to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to. And I think as a new mom, that that concept is really hard because you have so many other competing priorities, and it is so easy to do the things. My husband will always say this. He's like, the kids will come at you. Like they will keep coming. That is not like, and you have to react. Whereas doing
Yes.
something for yourself, it's like you have to do it. It's not coming at you, right?
Right.
You have to go out and like get it. And that's hard. It's hard when you have other things going on, especially little kids.
So, I have a question for you, and I've been dying to ask this. So,
Yes.
you're New York to Colorado. And
Yeah.
that is like, it could not be too any different. And especially like in Manhattan, like that is
Yeah.
two completely different lifestyles. Like,
Like night and day.
did that
Night and
kind
day.
of like help with like your business with breathwork? Because I feel like in Colorado it's very zen, and I feel like you are surrounded by like just so much motivation, like just the scenery, the culture in Colorado. Like it's just so much more zen. Like I feel like in Manhattan, like the breathwork I would be doing is like like trying to get through traffic and crowds. But have you like noticed a shift in your energy moving across country?
See, what's so funny that you say that is like there's definitely a shift in the energy that comes from the place. So obviously, Manhattan is it will move you, right? Like there's so much life. There's like a pulse to that city, like nothing I've ever experienced in my whole entire life. And I think a lot of people thrive on that, right? That's what they run on. Here is quiet. Like even my sons will say, like, Mom, I have a 3-year-old, and he's like, Mom, so quiet today. So quiet. And it's like, it is just that. It is very calm. And I would say that a lot of I still have a lot of clients that are in New York, and those are almost more so. I mean, everyone has their stuff, but they're almost more so the moms that are like, how do I come down? Like, there's all this energy, there's all
Yeah.
this hype going on around me. How do I internalize, like, come inside and just zen out for a moment so that I can recalibrate and get back to going. But yes, it's a totally different scene, and it is
Yeah.
lovely here. My dream would be to have a mix and a balance of both, right?
Yo, I bet. I
Just
love
live back and forth.
Manhattan. Yeah,
Oh,
I
the
always tell
dream.
my husband that if I was in a different situation, like if it was just me, I
Yes.
would live in New York. Like I love the busyness in New York. But yeah, I mean, moving from New York to Colorado, that's incredible. So everyone's going to obviously want to know this from the beginning. Like what inspired you to become a breath coach? Because I feel like it's a career path where you have to have a lot of dedication and patience and practice. So I'm
Yeah.
really intrigued to see like what inspired that within you.
Like absolutely. I would say that I'm generally a calm person, but like being zen has not always been in my nature. I'm still, to be clear, I'm still not zen. Like there's no zen going on here, but there has always been like a need to find some calm and find some peace. And this all came about when I had my first son, and we're talking December 2020. It's still the pandemic. I swear I was never diagnosed, but I think I'm suffering from postpartum anxiety. There's stress. I'm living in Manhattan with my husband, who has just launched his new startup on the day my son was born. He had his
My
laptop
goodness.
in the delivery room because he was launching his business. And so there's a bunch of stuff going on. We're alone. It's pandemic. We're socially isolated. You're not going outside because you're not bringing a newborn outside in December during COVID. We have no family around. It's a mixed bag of a whole bunch of stresses going on. And one day I'm sitting in my son's nursery, and I used to dance rock him to sleep, I call it. We didn't have a rocking chair. I was told I didn't need one. That's a whole other story I could get into with you. So I'm dance rocking him, and he's not going to sleep. He's
Mm.
overtired. I am overtired. The tears start on my face. He's already crying. I start to cry. And I'm trying to, as I'm sure a lot of the new moms out there will like probably viscerally feel, like I'm trying to get this baby to sleep. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm like kind of losing it a little bit. And I start to do the ugly cry where I'm like, because I don't want to stir him up anymore. So I literally start slow breathing. It's now I realize it's an extended exhale, but I'm trying to keep my body calm with him. And I keep doing this over and over again to maintain like composure so I don't start like screaming, crying with my baby. And I like, as I'm doing this, I notice like, I'm like, okay, like, all right, my body starts to actually relax. And like, I can feel my arms relaxing. I can remember this viscerally. My arms start to relax. And I'm taking these deep breaths in and out. And then he starts to calm down. It's not stop. He didn't stop crying, but he's starting to calm down. And it gets a little bit better. And we keep going, and he falls asleep. And I sit down in the chair with him as he's sleeping, and I think like, wow, that was like kind of crazy. Like that was pretty
Mhm.
neat. And I realize now it actually like wasn't crazy or neat. It was science,
Yeah, like literally
realistically,
science.
literally science. But in that moment, I thought like, oh my gosh, this is magic. Like this is crazy that I was
You like
just able to
regulated
calm.
an irregular heartbeat.
Literally, exactly. That's exactly what I did in a moment of anxiety and stress. So I didn't stop, and I kept going, and I would do it with him to calm him, but I would also start to do it for myself. And I started a ritual in the morning. I would do it for maybe 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, but every morning before I got out of bed, I would sit there and try a little bit of breathing just to set myself up right for the day. And nothing in my life got easier for a while. It didn't get easier. It was still pretty hard. And arguably, probably a couple things got a little harder. But having that ritual and having that consistency and actually learning how to bring myself out of that absolute panic stress mode into more calm was like I don't want to say life changing because that sounds really excessive, but it was definitely game changing for me. It made a huge difference.
Well, I think it is life changing, honestly. And I also, I mean, I was diagnosed with postpartum panic disorder. Like, my heart
Right.
rate would get up to like 150 beats per minute.
Yeah.
I think I'm dying. And all
Yeah.
it was anxiety. And
Yeah.
I completely empathize with like having your baby close to you and you're just so fight or flight, overwhelmed, emotionally drained that
Yeah.
you internally you're losing it and
You're
you
losing it.
have to find a way to not compartmentalize but to have a coping mechanism to get through it. And breath work honestly helped, and I still try to do it, but I love what you said about incorporating it into a morning routine for just a couple minutes because I
Yeah.
feel like everyone has a couple minutes. And if you
Uh,
say you don't, you do. You just need to prioritize yourself. So, what does your morning routine look like?
my morning routine has changed a little bit over time. And you know what? Here's the thing, it's going to continue to change because life will change. But what I do is depending on the ebbs and flows of what's going on, I personally use like an if then system to get the breath work in. So Meg wakes up lately, as I was telling you before we started here, at about 5:15 with
Mm.
my 20-month-old who hates sleep these days. So I wake up about 5:15 and I'm laying in bed and I refuse to get up quite right then. But what I'll do is I'll say, okay, well, I'm awake. I'm going to sit here and I set an alarm. Alarm is my dream because I will say I can be quite the lazy person and I need to know that I'm doing my time. So I set an alarm, let's say for 5 minutes, and I'll sit there laying in my bed doing my box breath for 5 minutes. And then I'll get up and start my day. Previously, when I was getting into this ritual, what I would do is I would get up, I would wash my face, I would brush my teeth, I'd put on my son's oatmeal, get that ready. And while the oatmeal was cooking, again, I'd come and sit in my coziest spot on the couch. I'd get a blanket with me, I'd wrap it up, and I'd sit there and I'd set my timer and do 5 minutes of extended exhales. When that was done, I'd go get the oatmeal and continue on with my routine and continue on with my day. It was that 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay.
The key is consistency,
Okay.
right?
And then what is the importance of breath work in daily life? Because when you're doing your ritual, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily when you're like in the zone or in a moment of like needing to take a second to calm down. So can you
Yeah.
explain that a little bit more because I think that's really important for listeners to understand like why you want to incorporate it and why you want to make it almost a small habit and a ritual so that when you do get into those, high-paced moments, you're a little bit more prepared, but like it sounds like there's a deeper foundation that we need to work on as women.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And breath work, it's kind of like any other physical activity, let's call it. So if you want to be able to sprint, right, on command, you're probably not going to be able to do that unless you've been practicing and leading up to being able to sprint on command. Now, could you? Yeah, for sure. We can all do it. We can all like knock out probably a good 20-meter run here. But to actually be able to do that consistently and build up over time and be able to then switch from, okay, I'm in fight or flight, I'm in my sympathetic nervous system, let's switch it back to parasympathetic. That takes practice, right? It takes time. It takes building that muscle memory of being able to do that. So, having a consistent routine like that will bring you into that flow. It will overall allow you more awareness of your emotion, how you're feeling, and then being able to bring it back into the parasympathetic, which is your rest and reset. It's so great to be able to pull this out. Like, oh my gosh, like the things my toddler does, I'm not even going to list them, but like there's moments when you just want to scream, right? You think like, oh my gosh, how did you just do this? That's when you want to be able to snap in and say, okay, let's take a pause. I'm just going to take one big deep inhale here. And I think sometimes it's just the pause that helps, but being able to regulate yourself enough to know you need to take that moment is where the consistency and the daily routine comes in. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
because it's like oxygen, like
Yeah.
you're putting oxygen into your body. And so, like, how does the breath work contribute? Like, we talked about the emotional well being, but how does it
Yeah.
actually contribute scientifically to your mental well being?
I would kind of like break this down. You can kind of break it down into like 4 quadrants here. So, like, there's emotional, there's performance, there's physical, and then there's honestly, there's spiritual, right? So, you're emotional, you're going to become or able to manage your stress, right? You'll probably therefore become less stressed. You can reduce your anxiety by being able to bring yourself back over to the parasympathetic. Overall, that will enlighten you and bring you into a bit of a better mood. Physical, you're going to get better digestion. When we talk about parasympathetic and sympathetic, it all aligns in itself. When you're in the parasympathetic, you're elevated digestion. You're feeling better in that sense. You're going to improve your sleep. So to be able to calm yourself before sleep, you're enhancing your sleep abilities as well. Performance, you're increasing your lung capacity. It sounds silly, and performance is oftentimes thought about like, oh, okay, so this is for athletes, right? And breathwork is huge for athletes. But I mean, you ask any mom, what did you do today? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't sit down. Like, I was literally up all day. I was running after my kids. I was going to work. I was doing this. I was doing that. So you're increasing your lung capacity just to be able to live your everyday life. You're getting better recovery from everything that you were doing. If you're doing exercise, if you're doing fitness, if you're just running after your kids all day, you're doing better CO2 tolerance, right? Spiritually, it is in the lines of meditation, right? When you're doing your breath work, you are focusing on those breaths. You are focusing on the count. You're being mindful of what you're doing, and you're increasing your compassion and your empathy because you're able to take that moment. You're able to take that break, and you're not snap reacting. Does that help cover your question?
100%, because that's how you are improving your mental clarity. And it's
Oh,
the
it.
consciousness of doing it that's going to help enhance the focus and concentration. So I saw something online and it really
Mhm.
hit me. And I feel like I was like, oh man, like I feel very seen. But it's basically like this analogy, like if you have boiling water, you can't see your reflection.
Yeah.
But once the
Yes.
water stills, you can see your reflection.
That's beautiful. Who posted this? Some of these people
I
out
don't
there with
know.
their quotes are just next level. I want to
I
learn
know.
how to
I
write
was
like that.
like, when I saw that, I was like, I feel so seen because I'm not a calm person at all. Like, I'm like, go, 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 go. And in order for me to actually consciously do anything in my life, like, I have to create a ritual or a habit. Like, I have to
Yeah.
dedicate the time to it. And uh yeah, that analogy like really shook me because I was like, it's so true.
Honestly, that's beautiful. And it's a perfect way to put it, right? Like I think a lot of the pause and how much it's like when you're in like a rage moment, right? You know, like you're so ragey
Yes.
and you want to react. Like there's this like incredible urge in you. Like I like keep bringing back this, but you're in the sympathetic, which is like your fight or flight. You want to take action, right? You're going to do something. And like, how do you bring it back so that you can just even just stop that for a minute? Just like have like, okay, let me like, maybe I just need to take it one step back. Like there's all these analogies, take a step back, take a breath, but that is what you
Yeah.
need to do. It's like stop for a minute, just for a minute.
S- So I'm going to throw a scenario at you.
Okay.
Okay, so Lakin is screaming, he's hitting
Yeah.
me, and he's the only person, by the way, that can hit me and kiss me all in 1 minute. And I'm like, you are the most beautiful human in the world.
Devil.
But, anyways, I'm in the middle of like a toddler tantrum. Like, we are
Yeah.
officially here. He's 20 months, he's almost 2 years old. He's stomping and waving his hands. How in that moment do I stop and take a step back, or am I training myself to do it in real time as I'm like maneuvering him? Like, what is the proper way to address myself in
Uh,
that situation?
So I think there's like a couple things at play here. First, and I'm sure you're doing this, you're making sure Lakin is safe. He's in a safe space where like if he starts losing his mind, he's going to be okay. Like you're fine there. You can sit there and freak out. The second thing is, now this is where like your consistent breath work comes in, and which is really helpful because doing this over and over again, like we talked about, you're kind of building a muscle memory to say like, okay, so stress is coming at me right now. I'm going to take a break because I feel it coming on. And that's what your consistent daily routine will help you into. But let's say you're in this moment, right? And he's losing his mind. It's the idea of taking a step back. So acknowledging with yourself, like, I'm getting stressed. Like, this is elevating me. I need to take a step back just for a second and focus in on me. He's going to be okay because I made sure he's in a safe zone. He's a toddler. He needs my presence. He doesn't necessarily need my action right now. Just needs me to be near him. I'm channeling my Dr. Becky here as well. And so this actually gives you a moment, right? You have all these, we all like, I think any like millennial mom these days has all these, or Gen Z or whatever the term is, have
I don't
all
know
these
them all.
parenting tips in our minds, right? We read, I mean, I read so many things, like it's all coming out my head. But unless you like are able to step back and think about what you need to do, you're going to do your innate reaction, which is probably not what Dr. Becky told you to do. So
Yeah.
you're taking that step back and you are assessing your situation, right? You're just going to do a breath because what your action is probably not going to help him at the moment. When he's in a tantrum, he's in a tantrum and he needs time to work it out. That's my opinion. And so you're going to take one of your deep breaths through the nose at the top and exhale for as long as you possibly can. Now, what does this do? Well, a couple things. It's going to calm you down based on your extended exhale. It's also going to give you some time to take another step and just to wait this out. It's the non-reaction. We want to come back from reaction. We do not want to react, right? That is
I'm
reactive.
I'm literally like shook right now because just going back to the first thing you said is like your toddler is safe. They're in a
Yeah.
safe place.
Yeah.
That's like going back to like literally the bare basics of like sometimes the simplest explanation is the answer.
Right.
And I'm now going to think about that first step before I even react because I don't. And I'm
Right.
sure many people, because you're so caught up in the situation, that I think that's like a very simple way to look at it. Like, look at your environment. You are in control.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's safe. Do you for a second.
Yeah.
Because I do think that like our job as parents is to not have our children see necessarily, or I don't know the best way to explain it, but like I don't want my child to see the things that traumatized me as a child. Do you get what I mean a little bit, or am I
Oh,
like completely far
no.
off? Like
This
you
is
want
like
to
so many
heal
of the,
your childhood trauma through parenting, and that might be a weird way to say it, but that's where
no,
I'm going is like you want to check yourself.
there's so many, I mean, we want to talk about like memes over here, right? There's so many about like how you, there's one about this guy talking about how you have children so that you can like reparent yourself, or like
Yeah.
how do you fix your like childhood wounds while parenting your children. And it's tough. Like, I understand why my parents probably struggled. Like, it's being a parent is, it's
It's
hard.
hard.
It's hard
Yeah.
work.
And
It's
like you
really
can't be
hard.
perfect. But I feel like
No.
now in our generation, and I'm not saying anything against my parents, just now in my generation or our generation, mental health is a discussion. Like back in the 80s, like no one talked about, maybe they did, I don't know. But I don't think mental health and like, you know, the movement for women to actually like truly have self-care really came into play. So I feel like as women, you were just like doing all of it and you didn't really have time. Like it wasn't socially like normal for a mom to like go just leave to the spa. Or maybe I'm ignorant because I was a kid, but I feel like
Yeah.
we have to in our generation be a role model and take advantage of what we have and the resources and the information because it's literally in our face 24/7.
Totally. And like on that factor though, what I think is like almost, I mean, everyone's situation is different, but I think like a lot of women and a lot of moms are faced now with this, like this idea. It's like pull on your community, pull on your village. It's like, but does everyone have that? Like, now we like move away from our families. Like, if you can't afford to hire help, like you're on your own. You're just doing what you can do to get by. And I don't think there is as much outwardly support as perhaps like when people used to live closer together. And I think that like that
Ooh, that's a good
really brings
point.
it back to like, how can you like it, and you said this, like, you got to do what you got to do to get by, right? Like, you got to find ways, you have to find ways that are quick, easy, and effective, if that's all the time you have, to care for yourself, right? Like, you have to find ways to care for yourself. And like, for some people, that might be this, for some people, that might be that. But like, self care is so important and it looks totally different to everyone, but it
No,
is
that's totally
crucial.
true. Okay. So I want to move into the next segment where we're going
Okay.
to talk about mom tips
Okay.
because I feel like people love take and go information and anything
Yeah.
that's like practical that they can
Yes.
help incorporate into their daily routine. So, with that said, addressing just some of the common challenges that we face as moms and like how breath work can help, what
Yep.
are different techniques?
Mhm.
And like explain it to me like rudimentary because I don't know anything about breath work.
Yeah. Okay. So I think there's a couple things to think about here. So we're trying to think about how you would incorporate this into your daily life. I think the first thing is to understand is like, why are you doing this? Like, if you're going to do anything in life, like anything, and you want to stay consistent, like I think you need a really good why as to why you're taking on any ritual. Why do you get up in the morning and brush your teeth? Like, because you don't want your teeth to fall out, right? Like, why do you brush your hair? Because you don't want to look like a crazy person. Although I don't always brush my hair, so that is questionable at best. Why do you want to do breath work? Like, what are you trying to get out of it? And I think that's really key to think about before you do anything, before you commit to anything new. And for me, anyways, understanding the why, it was like, I want to show up my best self and I want to show up the best for my kids. We touched on this, but like, I want them to see a mom who is like not always perfect and not always like exemplary, but like is aware and can stay calm and can understand that like, if I didn't do something right, I can come back to them and apologize and talk to them about it because I've become self-aware and I can take the moment and I have a bit more clarity and I feel like comfortable in myself. I feel safe in myself that I can then share that safeness with them. So that was my why. If you're going to do this, find a why. Know why you're doing it. Because if you don't have one, it will be harder to stick with, like any habit, right?
I love that.
Um, Next is like not a technique or a tip, but it's like start short and sweet, right? If you're trying to go into something, it's like you're trying to become a runner and you go out the first day and you try to run a marathon. You're not going to like it. It's going to be really hard and you might injure yourself. I'll tell you, you won't injure yourself doing breath work, but it won't feel good, right? You got to build up, start short and sweet. And the amazing thing about breath work is just a little bit will help you. It will make a difference, and start building on that and start growing. The other thing I would do is like an if then when you're trying to start a ritual. So if I get up in the morning, and for me right now, if my alarm goes off, then I do my breath work. Someone else might be, if I turn on the coffee pot, then I go and sit and do my breath work in the chair beside the coffee and wait for my coffee. If I, that's morning rituals. If I, get into my bed at night and I will read 2 pages of my book and then I do breath work to help put myself to sleep. It's like getting yourself in a routine of a trigger routine. So if I do this, all right, now I do this. And that helps keep you consistent. Another thing I would say is like if you're going to do this, find a spot that feels good to you, that you can go to consistently. And it feels like almost like a little oasis, a little cozy thing. Some people use the meditation pillows you can sit on and feel comfy, and that's your spot. I mean, mine when I started, like I said before, was my really comfy couch with a blanket. Like, find a place that you want to go to that feels good to you, that you can keep remaining consistent with. And I'm not, I mean, I can keep talking to you about this, but I'm going to cut it off. I think the last thing would be like, something is better than nothing. So like, that's a technique. It's a tip. Like, try to do something, try to remember at some point. And if you forgot and you didn't do it, that's
It's
fine.
okay.
Try again the next day, right? Like, there's no right or wrong. It's not the end of the world. You're working on calming yourself, and it's a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. And you just keep coming back to it and you keep trying. And I promise you, if you're number one, if you have a why, if you're doing this for a reason, you will keep coming back because you will start to notice a difference and you will start to achieve your goal of why. I can assure you
I
that.
love that. I always say this. I manage a team at work, and I always
Mhm.
say that if you start to have a bad day, only you decide to make the entire day bad. Like, I
Totally.
really do think that if you're able to have a little discipline and self control in your life, that you can take control back and you can
Yeah.
start over at any point in time. And I don't know why, but I connect that to breath work because it
Yeah.
is simply simple.
It
We breathe all
on
day.
you
So it's like,
breathe
why wouldn't we
all
want to be intentional? It's like skincare. Like, my skin is
uh,
my biggest organ. Why would I not put the best product on it? It's like, just take care of yourself.
the crazy thing about this is that again, I think I like alluded to this before. Like I like to do things that are effective, that are fast, that are quick, that are easy. Breathwork is very easy. It's not hard to do. To your point, you do it all day long. All this is doing is starting to take awareness of your breathing, starting to manipulate it a little bit to your benefit, and it will be life changing. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's very, very easy. It's fast and it's effective, which is why, as a mom, I've chosen to do this over other modalities. I still try to get in a run here or there, but not nearly as much as I do this. Probably not nearly as much as I should.
I mean, that's all of us. Like, we all wish that we were like a perfect 10, but we're not. I actually had to take vocal lessons not too long ago because I used to sing professionally. And now I work and I manage a bigger team and I'm constantly talking and I'm
Yep.
talking online. So
Right.
it's not like a podcast situation where you have your headphones on and you're in a mic and you can kind of like chill your voice. Like, I'm literally like perpetually like
Projecting.
screaming at my computer. Yeah, projecting, that's the right word. And I actually had to go to a voice coach to train myself on how to speak so that I don't drain my voice because I have nodes now, and it
Right.
is life changing. And I know this has nothing to do with, well, I guess maybe it has a little bit to do with breath work, but I really do believe that just like that class that I took or the training that I
Mhm.
took to help, like reset my voice and reset how I communicate, breath work is probably like the next step that I should start working on because you need to breathe in between when you speak. And I feel like
Yes.
I don't ever take a chance to breathe when I'm talking. Like, I'm just go, 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 go. So even if it's not like a stressful moment, I think it's important to just remember to breathe as you communicate and slow down and take your time,
Yep.
because when you went back and said, if we go back, you said it has everything to do with your body. It's all in sync. It actually helps with your gut. It helps with your sleep. It helps with all of these things. Like, we take for granted, I think, how fast paced we are. Like, we just need to slow the F down.
Most people, most people overbreathe. So, kind of to your point, you're breathing too much, you're breathing too fast, and you're you're not like hyperventilating breathing, but you're breathing fast enough that you're kind of kicking yourself into the sympathetic, like the fight or flight. Like we're a little bit more on edge than perhaps I don't even know if you could say used to be, but people are definitely overbreathing and kicking themselves into that side of your autonomic nervous system, which is why a lot of the times, and what I teach in my practice is to bring people down, especially moms, like to bring you a little bit more calm because it's common. The other things you'll catch yourself doing, try to take note next time you're writing an email. Check and see if you're breathing because a lot of people will hold their breath when
I
they're
do
they're
that all
thinking
the
and they
time.
hold their breath. And it's just like it's little changes in our breath, right? And this isn't it's not good. It's not bad. It's just if you can become aware of that, you will start to breathe again when you're writing emails and you'll start to
I
think
would
more consistently, right? And
I
how
was
can I
literally
keep my
holding my
breath?
breath when you were talking.
Yeah,
When you said that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing it right now."
it's wild though, right? It's really wild when we think of something that seems like so automatic, the fluctuations and the difference in our breath and our breathing patterns and how everybody's a little different is really, it's really, really wild. And the kind of the cool thing about your breathing, right, is we all have something called the autonomic nervous system, and it controls a bunch of different facets of our life. It controls digestion, it controls your breathing, it controls a bunch of different aspects of our body that we don't control, right? It just happens naturally. Your eyes blinking and so on. Respiration or breathing is the only one that we can actively take control of. So
Interesting.
it happens all the time, right? You're not thinking, you don't have to think about breathing. When you're sleeping, you don't need to think about breathing. You're going to keep going. But it's the only one you can kind of hijack as a person. And that allows you to affect all the other different systems in your body. It's so cool. It's so neat. Like it's awesome. It's such a cool ability as humans to be able to do, to allow ourselves. Like I do a lot of focus on bringing people down into rest and reset, back into your parasympathetic. Let's get calm. But you can also go the opposite way, right? You can energize yourself. You can do like fast paced breathing to boost your energy. And you can do that with breath too. I mean, that's not what everyone wants, right?
I
We're
had
talking
no
about,
idea that you can do all of those things with just breath.
yeah, just
So
with your
okay,
breathing.
like when someone signs up to do breath work with you,
Yeah,
like what are the steps? Like how do you intake a patient?
totally. Yeah, totally. So I do it a couple ways. I have a class that I run 2 times a week, and it's like you're come on in. We're going to learn some basic breathing techniques, and that's what's called
Okay.
basic breath work. So it's for moms. So it's like I guess you call it like a safe place, but it's all women, it's all moms. We're like free to chat. We go through the techniques, and that's just like a general basis. Here, you're here to learn. When I'm working one on one with clients, I think it's really important, again, to understand what their desired outcome is, right? Like, are they trying to get more energy? Are they trying to learn that? Are they pregnant and they're trying to learn how to belly breathe and really work their breathing for pregnancy? Are they a mom who's just absolutely overwhelmed and is looking to find some techniques to calm herself down? So it's really understanding what the goal of the individual is, because everyone's different. And like I kind of alluded to, you can use breath work for so many different modalities and so many different reasons. So getting a really good understanding of what they're looking for is huge. Training people on what breathing techniques to use is another big one. And so we'll go through a session of breathing techniques that they can use throughout their week, and every time we meet, we'll do a mini class, so to speak, and we'll do a session of going through these breathing techniques and watching how they're breathing, watching and looking for any like contradictions or any disordered breathing that they might have. And honestly, one of the biggest things that people that look for a breath coach want is they want accountability and they want consistency, right? It's like when you go to a trainer, you're looking to figure out the techniques and you're looking for someone to keep you accountable. And I think that's really huge, right? It's really important, above and beyond the learning of the techniques itself. So my goal when I have clients come in is understand what you're looking for, set you up with the techniques and the breathing, I guess, the education that you'll need to do it, set you on a plan so that you can remain consistent, help you stay consistent. And the goal is that then you'll be able to continue on without me and keep going on your breathwork journey, and we can touch base here and there. But that really is the goal, right? Like you want someone, or as a breathwork coach, I want someone to be able to come in and learn from me and then take it on themselves and continue doing it on a daily basis, or as much or as little as they feel that they need.
That's awesome. And one thing I learned when I did the voice training
Yeah.
is nowadays on like Zoom or Google Meets, whatever it is, there's actually settings so that you have like the perfect audio. So there's no like noise, there's like noise isolations. Like I think it's, you can be set for like live musicians. Like it helps, it helped my vocal coach actually
Yeah.
be able to coach me.
To
And
hear
so it's
you and
probably
coach
the
you.
same for you because like now our technology actually, it's not like you're just like, hey, I'm going to pay for this breath coach. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you actually can like record and actually hear and help people. And I think that's important for people to know on the tech side is like our technology is insane. Like, I
It's
had
wild,
no
isn't it?
idea. Like, she would record me and I was like, "Holy cow, I can totally see what you're saying." And it's all digital and it's all over
Yeah.
Zoom, so I don't have to leave the house to do this type of stuff.
Well, and that's the thing with moms too, right? We have this beautiful class that definitely some moms can make it to, but most moms don't have time for that. Like
No.
you just don't have the time to set aside an hour or whatever it takes you to get there and back to come and sit in a class. So to be able to do it on Zoom and work around people's schedules and times is it's amazing. It's so good. It just makes such a difference. And again, when we talk about moms trying to balance everything and get everything in, that's key is to be able to work around people's schedules. So yeah, the Zoom is amazing. It's really
That's
amazing to be able
amazing.
to use.
Okay, so can you share like a success story or like a testimonial from like one of your clients that experienced a positive outcome through breath work? Because sometimes I think women, we need to hear a success story in order to really commit to something. And I don't know if it's just me, but I need a success story because I want to know like if I'm committing my time to this, like it's actually tangibly going to work for me.
Totally. Totally. So I have one client who I've been working with for some time, and she has a young son, and came to me because she was kind of your typical thing, stressed, anxious, trying to figure out how to manage with her child. And we've been through the process. She has a routine now. We set her up with a schedule. She knows her breathing techniques that she uses. And she's continued on. And sometimes you hear from people back and like we keep in touch, but you're not always getting the good news stories, right? You normally get the stressed out, like this is not going right stories. You don't always get the positive stories. So she texted me one day a few weeks ago and she said, "You're going to like this." And I thought, okay, what's this? She said, "My son was having a moment of stress. He was not a tantrum, but he was very frustrated." And she said, "I sat with him." She's like, "And I was doing my breathing because I always encourage my clients to do their breathing in front of their children because you'll see, it's pretty remarkable what it does." And she was sitting there and she was like, "I'm doing calm breathing, just basic one-to-one, nothing crazy." She said, "I said to my son, like, okay, what can we do if you're feeling really frustrated?" And he said, "Mama, take big deep breaths." And he started doing the breathing in front of her. And she said, if I'm doing this and I'm putting in the work and I'm trying, and he sees that. He sees what I'm doing and it's working, and now he's doing it and he's so tiny.
That's
And I think it's
amazing.
that idea of, especially for moms, like you're doing this for yourself and you're doing it for your self-care and your mental health and your physical health, but you're also doing it for your family. Like this is why we show up a lot of the times every day, right? This is why we do so much for our families. This will also benefit your family and your children and probably your spouse, quite frankly. But just to know that that little person, like through her and through her work, was able to emulate what she was doing in a moment of frustration was awesome. Just so cool, I guess you could say.
That is honestly the best the best success story because again, like our job is to be role models for our children, but
Exactly.
I feel like children have it tough nowadays. Like especially with
Ah,
social media and like we only have like a 3 and a 20-month-year-old. Like I
yeah.
can't imagine being a teenager with
I
TikTok and Snapchat. Like there's no way. I
no.
can't. It's so
So true.
dangerous.
As like a like mid to late 30s woman, I look on Instagram and it immediately, it can evoke, if you're not careful, it can evoke senses of like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not trying enough, right? Like I think that's
Yeah.
very, and so
'Cause it's
with
a
little
highlight
and
reel.
we're aware of what it is, right? Like we're very educated on what's going on here, but it is a highlight reel. And when you're a little person and you see that, can you imagine how confusing that would be? How, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, I think it's good to teach your children how to take a step back and reevaluate. I think like if you can do it in breath, you're going to probably be more prone to do it
Yeah,
in other
yeah.
areas of your life because it takes a little bit of discipline to recognize, okay, in this moment, I need to take a second. I'm going to take a second. I love
Yeah.
that success story. That's amazing.
And just like when you think about it, if you can teach children at such a young age that this is a tool that they have and they can change how they're feeling and they have control of changing their feelings using their breath, you can teach a small person that. Just imagine how they're going to be able to manage their and regulate their emotions and the resilience they will be able to build over time, knowing how to do that at such a young age. It's just really cool. I wish I
That's
had
so
that because I
beautiful.
definitely
I
could have used it
know.
in my 20s.
See, this is what I mean about going back to like our parents. Like they didn't have this, like they didn't have podcasts to listen to about the beauty of breath work and a mom from across the country that had that success story. Like we
Yeah,
have to be better than the
right.
generation before us because we have every single freaking thing telling us or informing us or educating us on how to be better. We just have to do it. Like we just have to
Yeah,
do the damn thing.
yep. And I mean, there's so many different things out there, right? Like meditation is also beautiful. The reason I choose breath work over meditation is because meditation takes a lot longer, right? But it's still awesome. It just like you're going to
Okay.
get similar benefits. It just to get the similar benefits throughout meditation, it at least it takes about double the time, so to speak. It's just longer, more
Okay, so
focused.
I
Whereas
want to
breath
like
work,
step back because this is a
yeah,
question that I do want to ask.
okay,
What is the difference
yeah,
between meditation and breath work? Because they kind of go hand in hand, but they're two
totally.
completely different things. And I can recognize that, but I don't
Mhm.
know the in depth knowledge behind it. I would love for you to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, like I think if we're on the basis of it, right? When you're doing meditation, your idea is that you're clearing your mind, you're calming your body, you're pushing thoughts out, right? Like the idea is you take in a thought, something comes into your mind, you note it, and you expel it. And I think meditation is beautiful. It's absolutely an amazing practice. It helps relieve stress, it helps calm your nervous system, it like clears your mind. It is I think meditation is beautiful if you have the time. If you have the
Or if
time
you
to
have the
sit and do it,
discipline, I'm
or the
terrible at
discipline. Yeah.
meditation.
I'll be
Okay,
honest
and
with you,
breath
I'm not
work
great
is
either.
more like you're just focusing on just your breath.
You're
Got it.
focusing
Okay.
the reason honestly that I was drawn to breath work is you're focusing on your breath. So when you're sitting there, a lot of the times I'll count, right? If I'm doing box breath in my head, I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, two. And I'm thinking about this counting as I'm doing it. And so that's keeping me focused on my breath, right? Um, you can literally do that sitting at your desk at
Okay,
work.
wait. We gotta rewind a quick second.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do this with you, so you don't hear me
Okay.
awkwardly breathe into the mic. But can you explain what box breath is, and then
Absolutely.
actually do it? Like everyone, if you're
Yes.
listening, you're gonna stop. Well, maybe you're not gonna stop. If you're driving, just pay
If you're
attention to the
driving,
road.
don't stop.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like take us through a breathing exercise, and
Yeah.
before you do that, tell us what this breathing exercise, like what is this technique good for?
Okay. So we'll do box breath just because we discussed that one. So box breath is great for calming and kind of like balancing out your energy. You're doing inhales, you're doing exhales, but you're also doing holds. And it's even. You're bringing your breath to an even box. So when you think about it, you'll think like inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. And you just keep going around and around like this. And it's commonly known that Navy SEALs use this in their training for a calming exercise and to keep them even and balanced. So we can do it for a few counts, and I'll just count you through. So we're going to take a deep inhale, we're going to exhale, and then when we start back in, I'll count you in. So inhale, exhale, and here we go. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4.
Girl, if you do that more than 2 times, I'm gonna fall asleep because I kind of did. I was trying not to breathe into the mic. but I felt so calm just doing it for like 1 second. I
There's
never do that. Just so you like I need to box everything in my life because if I did that, like heck yeah, like I need to do that after I eat pizza.
you can do it. This is a crazy thing. You can do these exercises anytime. They're so easy.
Yes, that's an
Anyone
easy
can do
one.
them. Anyone, but that's a great one. Another one, if you're in a moment of um Huberman is a great, I love the Huberman podcast. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I don't get through the whole thing because they're so long. But if you're interested in like amazing scientific knowledge, Huberman Labs podcasts are incredible. And they do a couple on breath work. And he goes through this to say one of the best ones for calming yourself in immediately and very, very quickly is what's called an extended exhale. So, but in his version, and a really great version is so you're going to breathe in with your nose all the way to the top and then do an extra top breath. So, last one, and then exhale as slowly as you can. So
Oh,
it's breathe in and exhale.
and that's to calm you if you're stressed.
If you do that, to the listeners at home, if you do that a couple times, I can assure you, you will notice a difference in how you're feeling. And so, again, if your toddler, you've just walked into the room and your toddler has colored your white walls with your lipstick or something of the sort, or the smoothie is everywhere, and you're trying to get out the door, I can like build up this panic because I can feel it myself. It happens to me every other day. And you come into something and you just think like, I'm going to try that extended exhale.
I
In,
like
breathe
that.
in as much as you can, a little bit more at the top, and then breathe out as slowly as you possibly can. It's not going to fix your situation. It won't change the smoothie on the wall, but it will give you that moment to pause and to think, I can clean up this smoothie.
I
I can
mean,
do
there's a
this.
reason why they say take a breather. So we just need to
Everything, right?
breathe more.
Everyone, people will talk to you, just take a breath. But I think a lot of it comes down to what do you mean? Like,
What
how am
does
I
that
supposed to do
mean?
that?
Like
Like,
I just
and
took
how
a
do I
breath.
remember? Right, exactly. I keep breathing. I'm breathing all day. I've been breathing all day. But I think the key here is you're conscious, you're aware of your
Yeah.
breathing, you're taking control of that breath. And again, it's one of the only autonomic nervous system functions that you can do that with. It's crazy. It's really, really cool. And now I'm nerding out over here. I'm going to stop.
No, I love that. But I think it's even more exciting that you're launching your website here soon. And it's
Yes, yes. Breath
breathbymeg.com.
my mind.
That's BreathByMeg.com. And I think that's
Yes.
incredible. Like you've gone from Manhattan, now you're in Colorado. You are like the breathing queen. You have graced us. Thank you so much for your time with a little bit more information because I feel like a lot of times, like I said, like until you can see it, you don't commit to it. And it's like,
Yeah.
when do you ever really talk about breath work? I mean, maybe you do. Like it's not in my day to day. So it's just
No.
so nice to take a step back to learn something. And that's what I want this podcast to be is a resourceful place for people to learn and then also for more women to connect with each other. So I hope you connect with more women from this because it's incredible what you're doing. And I love that you're a mom doing it too. Like you get
You're
it.
Oh, honestly, I bow down to all the moms out there because I mean, you yourself, you're doing this podcast, you have a full-time job and you have a son. It's not easy to get things done, right? So you have to care, you have to be invested. And I think teaching moms how to breathe, how to remember how to breathe, how to build resilience for their day to day is it's just so cool. It's so cool to be able to do that because it's not hard. Like what you have to do is not hard. It just takes consistency and it takes time. And it might also take a little bit of mouth tape if you want to really
Oh,
open up your airways.
mouth tape. Okay, well,
Oh,
before we wrap, tell me about this
so I will
because
tell
I've
you.
seen this online.
Oh my gosh. The first time I started wearing mouth tape, I felt like a bit of a crazy person because you do look legitimately,
Yeah, you
you look
look
crazy.
literally
You
like
look
you're like,
insane. So the key is with I have always been a huge mouth breather, which we talked about dental before. Is horrible for your teeth. It's horrible for the way you're breathing. You always, if you can, would breathe through your nose. There's a multitude of reasons why you want to breathe through your nose, including better oxygen. It warms and filters the air coming through. It lowers your heart rate because it's a longer inhale. It increases lung capacity. I'm not going to get into that right now because we're talking mouth tape. When you tape your mouth at night, you're forcing yourself to use your nose all night long. The effects, I mean, there's the idea that it will change your jaw shape and help because you're not all night sitting with your mouth wide open. But in terms of me being able to breathe through my nose, my lung capacity, it's been, my sleep has been improved tremendously. I don't have metrics on this, but this is all my personal anecdotes. It's been game changing.
So do you do that nightly then?
Every night,
That's awesome.
every single night.
I'm gonna try
There's
it
a,
because I'm also a mouth breather and I
you
also
should
have
try
bad
it.
hygienes when it comes to my dental work.
Well, and this is what I should tell you. I went to my dental appointment, I'd say about a month ago, and the hygienist said to me, "What have you changed in your dental routine? Are you brushing more?" There's no way I can brush more. And I was like, "No, I haven't changed anything." And then I thought about it and I was like, "It's the mouth tape. It's
It's
changed
a
like
mouth
my gum
tape.
health. It's the mouth tape." I said, "That's the only thing I've changed." And there is an amazing company. It's out of Canada and it's run by, I believe it's two young women. And it's called Bouche, which is mouth in French, Bouche Me. And they make like beautiful feminine looking tape that
Mouth
is not
tape.
like, it's really nice. And obviously I'd love to support
I
women
feel like if
who are
I
doing a good
brought
job.
that into my house, my husband would be like so excited. I'd be like, "No, honey, this is for when I sleep. This is not
You're like,
for
this is
just
nice.
every
And,
day."
and it takes right, it takes a lot. Like my husband still doesn't want to try it and I'm like, that's fine. It takes a lot to start, and the first couple of nights you do feel like, oh, I don't know if I can be able to do this. But like anything, like your breathwork consistency, you got to stick with it and it will be, you'll notice a huge difference.
Oh
Huge.
my gosh, there's still so much more to learn from you. And I'm super excited because as long as our calendars still meet, you're going to
Yep.
be doing the Mom Betch happy hour later this
Yes,
month.
I'm so
And
excited.
I can't wait to hang and kick it with you. I'm sure there's going to be so many people that want to ask questions. So
Oh,
hang
I love
tight for
it.
that. But what I've learned today is like breath work is a necessity. Like if you are a mom bitch, you need to get your breath era on, okay? And I'm so happy that you took the time to be on the podcast. I've learned so much. Can't
Oh
wait
my
to do the
gosh, you're
happy
so
hour with
kind.
you. And I'm
I'm
so
really excited.
excited for your website. If you guys forgot,
Yes,
it's
thank you guys.
breathbymeg.com. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
today.
you. Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. This has been amazing. So much fun, as always.
Awesome. All right. Well, mom betches, that is a wrap on this episode. We cannot wait to breathe with you. Make sure to get, what was it called, that mouth tape?
Boosh me.
Boosh me.
Yeah,
We're going
it's
to
French,
boosh each other.
Canadian.
All right,
Yes.
perfect.
Woo.
All right. Well, have a good day. We will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.